When Nissan revealed the original Qashqai back in 2007, it effectively created the crossover class and gave people an interesting alternative to the normal humdrum family hatchback. The old Qashqai was still selling strong even in its 7th year, that really Nissan didn't have to release a new one, but release a new one it has. Needless to say, it's got some very big boots to fill. However, before we get into the meat of the review, there is something I should point out. Now we all know that Nissan is as Japanese as sushi, but the new Qashqai is pretty much as British as roast beef, and that's because it's designed in London, it's engineered in Cranfield, and it's built in Sunderland. So it's effectively like beef sushi. Actually, that is a terrible combination, so bad analogy, cut that, come on, let's cut that out. Thankfully, in the case of the Qashqai, the Anglo-Asian collaboration is far more successful, as British design and engineering flair come together with Japanese efficiency and attention to detail to produce a car that appeals to both your head and your heart. For instance, the Qashqai has a far more pleasing interior than its Asian rivals. In fact, it's pleasingly European, as everything in your immediate eye line is made from high quality materials. All Qashqais come with a colour touchscreen, cruise control, Bluetooth for your mobile phone and USB input for the stereo. However, you really want to step up to the next level because it's got all the kit you really need, such as an upgrade for the air conditioning to dual zone climate control, a nice leather steering wheel and 17-inch alloy wheels. However, the range topping version has 19-inch alloy wheels, heated leather seats and this rather lovely glass roof. Technocars also get a round view monitor, which warns if a pedestrian or cyclist moves into a critical area around the car, while the 360-degree camera will help you manoeuvre in tight spaces. There's even a park assist, which takes the strain out of parking. All you have to do is operate the throttle, clutch and brakes, and it does the hard part for you, the steering. To ensure you can always see where you're going, the reversing camera has its own wash and blow dry facility, so when the lens gets grubby, a little bit of water comes out of there and then a blast of air blows it away, cleaning the lens. Now in terms of pricing, the new Qashqai is very similar to the old Qashqai and it's competitive in the market. I will warn you though that the gadget-laden top of the range version does get pretty expensive, and if you want to see the full pricing then you can go on to carbuyer.co.uk. What is different this time round though is the boot. It might not be that much larger than before, but that was never an issue. Usability was. But the addition of a movable false floor means the new Qashqai has a flat low bed when you fold the rear seats down, and that makes loading large items easier. The space in the back seats has improved over the old car. It's still not class leading, but it's definitely better. Knee room is good, but that was never the issue. The issue was with headroom, but as you can see, I'm 5'11" and I've got enough headroom, and that's even with the optional panoramic sunroof fitted, and that eats into head space. Now, if you move into the middle seat, it is a little bit of a perch. Once again, I'm not quite touching the roof. There is a transmission tunnel. It's quite narrow, so there is somewhere to put your feet. As for in-car stowage spaces, well, they're not quite class leading, but the glove box, central cubby, cup holders and door bins are big enough for most people's needs. Now we need to talk about reliability, and Nissan didn't do quite as well in the 2013 driver power owner satisfaction survey as it did in previous years, but it still came in the top half of all manufacturers, and if you want to rate your car, you can visit driverpower.co.uk. You can get the new Qashqai with 1.2 litre and 1.6 litre turbo petrol engines, or a 1.6 litre or 1.5 litre diesel. The 1.5 litre diesel is the pick of the range. It can return over 70 miles per gallon, which means that it's not going to cost you that much to run. And as an added bonus, it emits under 100 grams per kilometre of carbon dioxide, so it won't cost you anything in road tax either. Now, if I'm honest, it's not exactly the quickest engine in the world. 0 to 60, well, that takes 12 seconds. Now, I should point out that the new Qashqai actually has less sophisticated rear suspension than the old car to help save weight, space and money. However, Nissan has fitted some clever electronics so the new car actually handles and rides better than before, making it brilliant in town. Special sensors can tell when you're going over a speed hump, and they apply the front and rear brakes independently to flatten the car out. So here we go, speed hump.
That's pretty smooth. You don't get the severe bobbing up and down like you do in other cars. And to tell you the truth, I don't know how that works or why it works. It just does work.
The Qashqai also has new 2-piston dampers, which allow the car to deal with both little bumps and big bumps equally well. There's also a system which brakes an inside wheel while cornering to help boost handling.
Do you know what? You can tell that this car has been engineered in Britain, because Nissan have got the balance between handling and comfort just absolutely perfect for this type of car on UK roads. And it does feel connected to the road, but not so connected to the road that it becomes a bit of a pain to live with every day.
Also, the new Qashqai is very quiet inside the cabin. There's little wind or road noise, and the engine is nicely muted at speed too.
All the controls in the Qashqai have a nice positive feel to them. They're not overly light, but they're not too heavy. Like the steering, it's nice. The gear shift is, it's not too slick, but it's not all notchy either. The clutch is just right, and the brakes, they're progressive as well. And that makes it easy to drive either on fast motorways, twisting B roads, or when you're just manoeuvring around town. Now, obviously in a car like this, you sit up nice and high, and that gives you a great view out, and you have got some absolutely superb large door mirrors. Bit of a problem though, these large A-pillars here do create a bit of a blind spot, but it's even worse, the pillars at the back, if you have a look, you'll see they're huge, and that plus the small back screen does make reversing a little bit of a problem. So when you're trying to manoeuvre into tight parking spaces, you may need to use the force, or of course pay extra for one of the models with all the reversing cameras.
There are some other issues too. For instance, the 4-wheel drive models are rather expensive, and if you want an automatic version, you can only get them with the more costly 1.6 litre engines. Speaking of which, the 1.6 litre diesel rattles like it's running on gravel.
Still, overall, the new Qashqai is a really good car, and it's better in pretty much every way than its predecessor. The only problem is that this time round it faces some very stiff competition in the form of the Dacia Duster and the Mazda CX-5, and if you click on those windows, you can watch those video reviews. Click on this icon, you can watch our very latest video review, and don't forget to click on our logo to subscribe to the Carbuyer YouTube channel, and every week we'll send you a new video review.